Brother, sister, let's read the scripture together.
在约翰福音13章33到38节。
John 13:33 to 38.
请把经文读一遍。
Let's read together.
请。小子们，我们还有不多的时候与你们同在，后来要来找我。犹太人说，如今也要照样对你们说，我赐给你们一条新命令，乃是叫你们彼此相爱。我怎样爱你们，你们也要怎样爱。你们若有彼此相爱的心，众人因此就认出你们是我的门徒。彼得问耶稣说：“主往哪里去？”耶稣回答说：“我所去的地方，你现在不能跟我去，后来却要跟我去。”彼得说：“主啊，我为什么现在不能跟你去？我愿意为你舍命。”耶稣说：“你愿意为我舍命吗？我实实在在告诉你。即叫以前，你要3次不认我。”我们一起做个祷告。
Let's pray together.
天父，我们感谢你。
Dear Lord, we thank you.
感谢你将你话语的奥妙告诉我们。
Thanks, give us all the secrets from your word.
好了，我们这空虚悖逆和愚蒙的心蒙你的光照。
So you can light up our foolish heart.
主求你就继续带领。
Please lead us.
感谢祷告，奉耶稣基督的名。
We pray in Jesus' name.
阿门。
Amen.
好，今天讲到的题目是彼此相爱的奥秘。
Today the topic is the secret of loving one another.
那前面我讲到基督的荣耀，大家还记得吗？
Earlier we talked about the glory of
是
Christ,
带着权柄的荣耀。上礼拜我们讲。
the glory of authority.
那今天讲彼此相爱，讲彼此相爱的奥秘。
And today we talk about the secret of loving one another.
那耶稣在这里提出3个彼此相爱的奥妙。
And Jesus talked about 3 secrets of loving
他这
another.
样讲可能会颠覆我们对爱的观念哦。
Maybe you will override all the concepts we have about the love.
爱怎么会是一个命令呢？
How can love be a command?
彼此相爱和一个地点那么大关系吗？
How can love one another really
耶
have a
稣
matter
所
for the
说的爱
location?
又是一种怎样的新型的关系呢？
And when Jesus talked about the love, what kind of new model
我们一起
relationship?
来看看第一点。
Let's look at the first point.
这是一条命令，
This is a new command.
强调彼此相爱，甚至以爱为命令的，是约翰神学的一大特点。
Emphasize the loving of one another. Also as a command, this is John's theology's one
我们
key difference.
我们听到爱是一个命令，
We heard about love is a command.
从主那儿来的，当然就是领受嘛，对不
It
对？
was from Lord, which is received,
但
right?
是从理性上，我们又晓得爱是无法勉强的呀，
But think about logically, love cannot be forced.
好像更是无以下命令的，对不
And
对？
it cannot be commanded.
你见到一个女孩子，你很爱她，
If you see a girl, you love her.
请问你会怎么表达这个爱呢？
How you express your love?
买束花给她好不好？
Just buy a flower,
请她吃个饭，
invite her for dinner.
想方设法去讨好她，对不
Just
对？
do all different kind of way to please her.
你不可能找着她面前说：“嗨，我给你下个命令，从此你爱我。”
You cannot just go to her, I command you from today, you must love me.
那女孩子可能转身就走。
And she'll be turned around and just go
那
away.
这个命令和爱到底是什么样的关系呢？
So we need to understand the relationship between order, the
好像
command and
爱
love.
和命令不太容易有联系。
It's kind of not related.
如果我们对圣经是熟悉的话呢？
If you know Bible
那
well,
我们知道爱人如己也是从旧约以来的一直以来的一贯教导，甚至也是命令。
you will know love your neighbor as yourself is in Old Testament always teach
当
us.
耶稣教导犹太人的时候，教导门徒的时候，说什么是最大的诫命呢？都说爱人如己是最大的诫命。
And also Jesus talked about love your neighbors as yourself as a higher.
爱神和爱人如己是2大诫命。
And this is a 2 major difference.
好，那在这里边发现，原来爱本身并不是一个新鲜的事情。
So you know love is something new.
从旧约到新约，爱就是一个命令。
From the Old Testament to New Testament, love is a command.
那我们来到教会的弟兄姐妹，也同样是面对这个命令，对不对？
So brothers and sisters, you come to the church also face the same command.
但是坦率讲，我们弟兄姐妹对爱的命令，我们理解是肤浅的。
Frankly, brother and sister might not have a deep understanding about love.
要特别是从旧约到新约，这个爱的命令的突破口在哪里？
Especially to understand from Old Testimony to New Testimony, that's a breaking point.
这是今天约翰在这一部分对整个神学思想的贡献。
Today, this is John from his theology contribution about the love.
因为约翰的突破点 单是爱，
Because the breaking point of a joint theology is not just love.
它乃是强调彼此相爱。
It emphasizes loving one another.
这一点是对犹太人很陌生的。
That is very new to Jews.
那爱人如己怎么回事呢？
Love yourself as neighbors is easy to understand.
仍然是我的爱，我负责任，
It's my love I'll be responsible
我
for.
决定爱你，
I decide to love you.
跟你没什么关系。
It's not really related to
但
you.
是新约的教导是要让弟兄姐妹之间是彼此相爱的，
But in the New Testament, it teaches us love one another.
不能单单是我爱你，你也得爱我。
It's not just I love you, you must love me
你
too.
不喜欢我，你得爱我。
Even you don't like me, you have to love
那
me.
喜欢和爱的区别又在哪里呢？
But do you know the difference between love and
喜
like?
欢可以是一种感觉，
Likeness is a feeling.
你发现身边有些人就没有条件你就喜欢他，
But you look at people around you and conditionally you would like
那
them.
你真爱他吗？
Do you really love
你
them?
没有真正的思想过的。
You never think about it.
爱是什么呢？
What is love?
爱是一个理性的决定，
Love is a very logical decision.
爱是生命当中的一个尾声。
It is a surrender to your life.
我下了决定，我就不再改变。
I made my decision, I will not change.
大家都觉得好像是父母爱儿女，
And you think about parents love their children?
是怎么回事呢？
What's that matter?
是不是孩子特别可爱？
Is it because the children are more lovely?
坦率讲，儿女的丑陋在父母面前是暴露无遗的地方，
Actually, how the children look is really no way for the parents
绝
to
对不
feel.
是因为儿女有多么可爱
It's not about how lovely.
才去爱他，不是的。
It's not because the children lovely, the parent loved them.
领受了一个从上帝而来的一个爱儿女的命令。
Because the parent received a command from the God to love their children.
这你发现没？这是做父母这一生的命定之如此。
And all the parents have the desire for all life.
而父母对自己是无法了解，自己是领受使命。
And the parents, a lot of times they don't understand they have the mission to love their children.
而我们绝大多数的父母都以为自己是因为自己喜欢儿女，所以才爱儿女。
A lot of parents, a lot of times they thought because I like my children, so I love them.
其实你认真今天做父母的，问问你自己，
Because as a parent, you think about yourself
你
and ask
看到
yourself.
儿女的烦人的地方，烦死了，对不对？
Sometimes you look at children have a lot of annoying things.
其实从感受上讲，你许多地方你都不太喜欢孩子的部分，
Because there's so many areas you don't like them.
但你发现你没办法控制你自己，
But I think about it, you cannot control yourself.
你甚至把命都没给他，
Even you give your life for them.
能够舍身舍命，这还是感觉吗？超越感觉了，
It can give in your life for them. It's beyond your emotion.
这是爱。
That is love.
但是呢，父母跟儿女之间是不容易做到彼此相爱的。
But it's very hard to let the parent and the children love one another.
所以这个时候需要各个国家、各个文化从古到今都有文化的补足。
That's why look at the history. All different countries have their culture to fill up.
中国就说你要孝敬父母，
So in the Chinese way, you need to respect and serve your
孝敬父母
parents.
是对谁说呢？
Who they talk to?
对子女说。
To the children.
为什么要对子女说？
Why do we talk to the
因为
children?
子女对父母的爱是心不甘情不愿，
Because the children's love to their parents not willing.
所以就有一个文化上的使命和氛围。你要不孝敬父母，你猪狗不如。
So therefore, in the culture, they command the children to love their parent.
好，我这有点讲远了啊。
So I'm a little bit far in
我
this
回到
topic.
教会中来。
Let's go back to the church.
那上帝给我们下了一个使命，我们要爱人如己。
God gave us a command to love your neighbor as
那么
yourself.
犹太人走了几千年，走到诗经约翰的时候呢，他说你要爱人如己，而且要彼此相爱。
And for the Jews have passed thousands of years, they know not only love your neighbors, also love one another.
约翰提出来的时候，当时2000年前的犹太人无法了解这个道理。
When John raised this topic, those Jews could not understand this.
其实坦率讲，就是我们今天也不容易了解这个真理。
Honestly, even today, it's also hard to
我们
accept.
比较容易爱那些我们喜欢的人，对不
It's
对？
easy for us to love those people we like.
我们不喜欢的人，我们很快就有一个做了个里边有个潜意识，觉得我不爱这个人。
If there's people that are not pleased by us, normally we would not love them.
人们对爱的理解是很容易集中在以自我为中心的恶圈里面。
The love usually is circled in the sinful nature and circled in your heart.
全世界101%的人都很难脱离这个恶圈。
Look at everybody in this world. It's very hard to get out of this sinful circle.
其实教会也是如此哦。
Actually, it's the same as the church.
我们爱神和爱自己比较容易，
We love God and love ourselves is
我
easy.
们爱人好像 OK 还可以，
And love someone, maybe it's easier,
但是
okay.
我们绝对没有一个能力让对方也爱自己。
But you have no power to let other people to love us.
这是约翰在这里面给我们发出的一个挑战。
That is a big challenge John raised here.
那么在这里该怎么办呢？
So what we should do?
耶稣提了一个标准，
And Jesus gave us a standard.
他说：“我怎样爱你们，你们也要怎样相爱。”
As I have loved you, so you must love one another.
其实在这里面藏了一个极大的奥秘。
Actually, there's a secret hidden here.
主为我们舍命十架是牺牲的大爱，
And Jesus died for us on the cross, and it's a sacrificing
它是
love.
一种舍己的爱。
It is a sacrificial love.
其实这就是我们彼此相爱的目标和根基，
So that's the foundation and the goal for our love.
就是要彼此牺牲、彼此舍己的爱。
That is a love that we are willing to sacrifice ourselves.
要新旧约之间的跨越到底有什么呢？
When you look at Old and New Testimony, there's two different key
请
points.
大家注意要做笔记，要记住这两点很重要的两个话。
Please take a note of these two critical
一个
points.
呢，从旧约是从爱人到彼此；
First, it's from love your neighbor to love one
第
another.
二呢，是从如己到向主。
Secondly, it's from as self and to the Lord.
大家有没有发现这个 difference？
Do you see the difference?
在旧约当中的最大的诫命是爱人如己，
In the Old Testament, the key is love your neighbors as yourself.
新约呢是彼此相爱，向主。
And in the New Testimony is loving one another like the Lord.
这就是这条新命令的心之所行。
That is new command, what we should do.
大家有没有想到其中的奥妙？
Do you think about the secret
因为
inside?
爱人可以是我个人的事，对不对？
Because love someone is my own personal thing.
你想爱，想怎么爱，我说了算。
If I want to love or not, it's my decision.
但是如果要彼此相爱，就不简单了。
But you talk about love one another, it's not simple.
这个时候我们可能需要去学习要有同理心了，
We need to learn what's the empathy part.
我们需要去实践一个将心比心了，
We need to think about how to care the heart.
我们需要尝试站在对方的角度去看问题了。
We need to start to think of sitting other people's shoes to look
于
at
是
things.
从我们每一句话开始了。
We start from every word we start to say.
如己呢，可以是爱的道德层面，
And therefore, it can be the different moral dimension.
但向主就不简单了。
But to be like Lord is not simple.
如果我们要像主那样爱人的话呢，
If we want to love someone like Lord,
有一个前提是我们必须要有的，
then there's a one condition we must have.
是什么呢？
What is that?
是以耶稣基督的心为心。
Is in your relationship with one another have the same minds as Christ Jesus.
这是这条新命令的新的地方。
That is the new commander, the new feature.
这是约翰所告诉我们彼此相爱的奥秘的意义。
That's the first point about loving one another from John.
好，我们来看第二点，
Let's look at the second point.
有一点奇怪，对不对？
It is strange.
怎么会彼此相爱和一个地方会有关系呢？
Why loving one another have a relationship with a
我
place?
们一起把33节读一遍好不好？
Let's read
小子
together.
们来，1、2、3。小子们，我还有多的时候与你们同在，后来你们要找我，但我所去的地方你们不能到。这话我曾对犹太人说过，如今也照样对你们说。这句话看似非常平常，
It seems like a very normal statement here,
但却带着一个非常重要的真理。
but that's a very important truth.
第一呢是彼此相爱的动机，时机对。
First is the timing of loving one another.
时机有的时候是我们做事情的一个非常重要的原因。
But think about timing. Sometimes it's very important for us to do
请
things.
问这个耶稣说这句话的时候是什么时候呢？
Think about it. Why Jesus tell us this?
是主马上要走上十字架，
It is the Lord almost ready to be on the cross.
逼迫马上就来临。
The persecution is coming.
主就这个时候发出一个警醒的信号。
And Lord Jesus gave us a watchful
他说：“
sign.
小子们呢，我还有不多的时候啊，
My children, I will be with you only a little longer.
我还有不多的时候与你们同在。
I don't have a lot of time with you.
我礼拜4讲章写到这里的时候呢，
When on Thursday I wrote my sermon,
国内的一位弟兄发来微信的资料图片给我看。
a brother from mainland China gave me a WeChat and there's a picture.
他说浙江的玉环县武顺国政堂上的十字架正在被政府拆除。
He told me the Bethel Church's cross in Zhejiang Yuhuan it will be demolished by Chinese
我看到
government.
照片上的一群弟兄姐妹就把自己绑在十字架上，我们是以十字架同存亡。
In the picture, I saw all those people gather together and tie themselves up with the cross.
当然，后来是被政府被公安就把那个人就给拉开了。
Of course, later the policeman took all the people away from the cross.
然后在十字架上淋上汽油，就在那冲天大火在那烧。
And then just burn the cross.
从去年到今天，中国的十字架，浙江一个省的十字架拆除了1200。
There's 200 crosses have been demolished by Chinese government.
但是有些人把没有十架的教堂的那个照片发给我看。
So my friend sent me the pictures, all those churches without the
好
cross.
像每个人头发都剃光。
It's like a shave your hair.
教堂上面没有十字架。
There's no cross on the church.
好像人的一个脸面被剥除。
It's like you have no faith
在
of
这种
yourself.
逼迫当中的时候，
In the persecution,
弟兄姐妹怎么样去彼此相爱？
how brothers and sisters love one another.
耶稣在指出一种时机的时候，是告诉我们，相爱往往是在一种逼迫的环境当中产生的。
When Jesus Christ mentioned about timing, actually during the time.
想到这一点呢，其实我们在美国的弟兄姐妹彼此相爱是不容易的。
Think about that. Actually, U.S. the brothers and sisters love one another is
我们
not
环
easy.
境是太舒服了。
It's too comfortable here.
在美国衣食住行不忧，
We never worry about living.
工作机会不缺的，
There's a lot of job opportunities.
个人创业很有前途的。
It's easy to be entrepreneurs by your own
在我
business.
们当中弟兄都很聪明，
And everybody's so smart here.
有一些卖房子，
Some sell houses.
甚至更加聪明的把旧房子买回来，装修当新房子买。
Even some just rebuild the house and resell.
有人开餐馆，
And some have a restaurant.
全达拉斯湖河地区最好的餐馆在我们教会。
And the best Chinese restaurant
那个是
from our brothers.
最好的大厨也在我们当中做
The。best chef also in our
我
church.
吃遍这么多地方，最好吃就是我们教会弟兄姐妹做的饭菜。
I tried all the restaurant. The best is for our church.
昨天我们去跟一个朋友吃饭，
Yesterday I have invited my friend to have a meal there.
邀请他来我们教会啊。
I invited him to our church.
说为什么去你教会？
Why go to your church?
后来我旁边有个弟兄说，我们教会有全达拉斯最好的中国菜。
And the brother said, we have the brothers and sister have the best Chinese restaurant here.
好不好？
Isn't that nice?
好不好？
It's good.
不说话，你养老说话好不好？好啊，好不好吃啊？
It's a taste good.
当然好，毫无疑问。
And of course, no doubt.
但是大家要警醒一件事情是，
But one thing we need to be watchful.
往往这种没有相爱的时机来到的时候，我们是极其不容易相爱。
And if there's no timing for love one
但是
another,
我们却非常容易的彼此喜欢。
we easily to be like each other.
大家懂我的意思吗？
Do you understand?
你很容易彼此喜欢。
It's easy for you to like each one.
你做的菜好吃，
Your meal is very good.
哇，你小蛮腰啊，
And you are so skinny.
你会减肥啊，
You know how to diet.
你有这个优点，你有那个优点，我们都非常享受彼此对方。
We always enjoy each other from other people's
但是我们
benefit.
有没有深深思考一个问题？我们正在相爱吗？
But do you understand? Are we really love one another?
正在相爱。
Are you really love one
弟
another?
兄姐妹，上帝非常看重我们是不是彼此相爱。
And God really emphasizes, are you really love one
你
another?
知道什么是相爱？
Do you know what is loving one
你
another?
相信我一件事情，相爱绝对不是你好我好他也好。
You believe me, loving one another is not like you are good, I'm good, and everybody's good.
在今天约翰的著作里面告诉我们，相爱是要像主那样相爱。
In John, he told us, love one another must be like Jesus.
什么是主的爱？
What is the love from Lord?
彼此舍命。
Actually give life for each other.
今天有个恐怖分子冲进这里拿个枪过来，
If there's a terrorist and have a gun and then just rush in
当
the
中有
church,
谁愿意第一个跑到前面说让我来先死？有没有这样的人？
is anyone willing to step forward and let me die first?
今天愿意？
今天 willing to die.
啊？
肯定是我报。
我们手指都比较容易毛。 外子。
We all easy to point to other people.
但是今天你不要忘了一件事情。
But you can't forget.
一个手指指出去的时候呢
When you point your finger out,
有3个手指指自己。
but another 3 fingers pointing to yourself.
当然，牧师今天也在，感觉怎么样？5个手指全部指出去。
Because you have 5 fingers pointing to the pastor.
真的是少林功夫，我都没看。弟兄姐妹，
Brothers and sisters,
这是玩笑可以看，
it's a joke, we can talk about it.
但是这个反省是我们每个弟兄必须思考的。
But this is something we need to rethink about
那
ourselves.
今天牧师也在你们当中也清清楚楚的表明一个态度。
And today, as a pastor, I also showed
其实
my
我讲了很多遍
clearly,
今天也听过。
and Jing already heard this many
如
times.
果真有这样的机会，
If there's an
这
opportunity,
不是求神给我一个机会，让我能够死在你们前面，这第一个事。
I always pray God give me opportunity to die for you all.
如果说你们牧师不能够为你们舍命在前面，
If your pastor cannot give in his life for each one of
这个
you,
不是我个人的问题，
this is not about myself,
是我所信的主和民所信的，
because that would shame the Lord I believe.
我担不起这个罪，
I cannot carry this thing.
所以我以能够为这个舍命，为我这一生的。
I see this is great glory if I can die for brothers and sisters.
我要讲的意思，大家明白吗？
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
爱不是一个简简单单的吃喝拉撒、吃喝玩乐的事，
Love is just not like eat together and play together.
爱是把命摆上，
It's surround your own life.
不是我的命有什么了不起？
It's not about how remarkable about my own life,
我们祖先为我们舍命，
because a Lord died for us first.
我们的主是什么命？
Do you think about what kind of life our Lord has?
荣耀尊贵的命，
What kind of glorious life He has?
为我们舍命，
He died for us.
我们什么命？
What kind of life we have?
亚当夏娃所犯罪的罪人的命
We are the sinners from Adam and Eve.
是无法比较的。
You can never compare this.
凡是相信耶稣的人，
Everyone who believes Jesus
我们
Christ,
都必须效法主的爱。
we must follow Jesus Christ's love.
盼望弟兄姐妹不要到时候恐怖分子来打死牧师一个人，其他全部都跑。
And I hope when the terrorists come, not just pastor die and everybody just escape and run away.
至少有一些弟兄陪牧师一起在前面
At
站。
least some brothers will go with me.
好，有弟兄笑，我在想举手说愿意跟牧师一起。
I don't think anyone will be willing to follow me.
好，第二是彼此相爱的盼望。
Secondly, is the hope of loving one another.
有一个地方是我们不能去的，
That's one place we cannot go.
这很心里很难过，对不对？
You feel pretty upset,
但
isn't
是
it?
也会很好奇。
You are very curious.
有一个地方我们不能去。
That's a place we cannot
耶稣
go.
说有个地方我要去，你去不了。
That's a place I will be there, but you cannot
你
follow
听了这
go.
个话，你心里面会怎么想呢？
When you heard this, what do you think?
上个礼拜三，美国的宇航局就宣布 ，NASA 宣布说，发现了另外一个地球，
Last Wednesday, NASA announced that they found another Earth,
还给它编了一个号，
and even have a number
叫
for it.
Kepler 425。
It called it Kepler 425.
当中你一听就说，哎，不是我也要去，
Someone heard say, I want to go.
好像一人报名说，不是我要去那个地方。
And he's the first one say, I want to be there.
然后我说你知道怎么去吗？
Do you know how to get there?
你知道花多长时间去吗？
Do you know how long it takes to get there?
不知道。
She said, I don't
知
know.
道我们相差多长时间？知道
Do you know what is the distance?
5亿年。
5 billion years.
你想想
Light years.，
如果从你这一代人开始坐的飞船往上走，
If from your generation trying to take a spaceship to
你
go
看
there,
你在飞船上生孩子，
you have to have a children
你要
in the
生
spaceship.
你要生多少代？你知道吗？
How many generations of children you have in the spaceship?
美心知道生多少代？你知道吗？我算一算，大概是9000多代，
About 9,000 generations in the
超
spaceship.
越今天人类的历史，
It is exceeded today's human history,
超越179倍。
170 times longer than today's history.
去不去了？
Do you still want to go?
我不去，还待在这里。
Okay, no, I'm just staying this earth.
我们可以好奇，我们可以去玩笑，
You know, when we're curious, we can make a joke of for
但
it.
是你知道主在告诉我们什么吗？
But you know what? The Lord trying to tell us.
当年耶稣告诉人说：“我所去的地方，你们不能到。”
Jesus said, where I'm going, you cannot come.
耶稣在讲什么？
Do you know what Jesus was talking about?
耶稣在告诉我们说，有一个地方，那个地方是一个完全的彼此相爱的。
Because he told us there is a place, that's a place people have their all loving another, the perfect
一
place.
个生命中带着罪的人群人类是不可能真正完全彼此相爱。
Because in the people with sinners, it's impossible to be completely love one another.
但是我们却有一个地方是可以让我们完全的活出彼此相爱。
But there is a place that we can really live in the life to love one another.
这是我们的盼望。
That's the hope of
我们
life.
不是耶稣给我们的应许，不是说说就算，
Jesus does not talk about it.
对吧？是实实在在有这么。
And there's really a place like this.
那就不要为了今天我们不能完全的彼此相爱而灰心丧胆。
We cannot just be disappointed because we cannot really love
我
one
们
another.
实在是在耶稣基督里有盼望。
But in Jesus Christ, there's a hope.
我们今天在学习彼此相爱，是未来彼此相爱的一个引儿。
Today we love one another just to prepare for the future.
我们开始学一些功课。
We start to prepare the
我
lessons.
们不要以后回到天家太陌生了。
We don't just in the heavenly home and be strangers.
如果我们在教会里，在地上从来没有学习过彼此相爱，
In the earth world, we never learn how to love
有
one
一天
another.
回到天家去了，
When we one day go to the
你
heavenly
发现
home,
天家人怎么这么奇怪呢？
why does the people in the heavenly home is so
为什么
strange?
这些人都在彼此相爱呢？
Why to love one another?
我在地上生活的时候，我是爱人如己啊，
And on the earth, I love the neighbor as
我以
myself.
我自己为标准呢、
I accept everything myself as
我怎么
standard.
爱我自己，我怎么就爱别人呢？
How I love myself, I love
我也
others.
不爱别人那么多，我少爱自己一点呢？
So if I love myself and less and on
由
myself,
我自己来决定啊。
I decide by myself.
但是到了天家去以后呢，
But once in the heavenly home,
所有的爱和彼此相爱是以耶稣基督为标准。
all the love and the love of one another based on the Jesus Christ standard.
如果我们完全不了解这一些真理呢，
If we know nothing about this
你
truth,
去到那里的时候，主说的我可能我都不认识你啊，
once you are at heavenly home, Jesus Christ said, I
怎么
don't know
彼此
you.
相爱的真理你都不懂呢？
Even you don't know the truth of love
难道
one
我在
another.
难道我在约翰福音13章36节没有教你吗？
In the John 13:36, do I teach you already?
来到2015年7月几日几号？26号，王牧师的讲道时候没有告诉你吗？
And in the July 26th, in Pastor Wang's sermon, he didn't teach you?
那主啊，对不起，我记性不好，我都忘光了。
Oh, sorry, Lord, I have a very poor memory.
你知道耶稣会怎么对你
Do
讲
you
吗？
know what Jesus is going to say?
等一等，
You have to wait.
我们找一个这个人脑工程师来，
And we need to find an engineer
打开我们脑子，
to open your brain
他拿出我们记忆的那个芯片出来，
and take out your memory chip
然后放在天上的电脑一插，
and put it in the computer in the heaven.
然后天上的电脑大屏幕整个天空彰显出来，你曾经在几月几号几时听过这堂道。
So in the big screen, going to show you in what day you heard the sermon.
为什么会忘记？
Why you will forget?
因为我们的潜意识、下意识、无意识，包括我们的意识在内，刻意的将它遮盖。
Because our subconscious or conscious, we try to remove them.
我们容让从亚当里的罪去遮盖我们生命当中的真理。
We let the sin from Adam and Eve to cover the truth.
彼得这个时候性子很急呀、
And Peter is very
他
impatient.
说：“主往哪里去
And who were you coming?？”
那耶稣这个时候怎么说呢？
Do you know what Jesus said?
我所去的地方，你现在不能跟我走，后来却要跟我去。
Where I'm going, you cannot follow me now, but you will follow later.
我是很服耶稣的，
I really admire
耶稣
Jesus
是不放弃任何机会去传福音，
because he will not miss any opportunity to share
他
gospel.
不放弃任何的时机去做门徒训练。
He will never miss any opportunity to train
这
disciples.
是福音中的盼望，
That is the hope of the
这是
gospel.
盼望中的福音。
That is the hope from the gospel.
我们一起来看第三点。
Let's look at the third point.
彼此相爱的奥秘的第三点是指的是一种新的关系。
This is a new relationship.
彼此相爱当然是在某种关系当中。
Love one another is in kind of a
要
relationship.
在耶稣所颁布的彼此相爱的命令当中呢，
In Jesus Christ's command to love one another,
我相信耶稣首先最在乎的就是我们跟他之间的关系了，对不对？
I believe the first and most important extent is the relationship between the Lord and ourselves.
我一起把35节读一遍好不好？
Let's read the 35 verses.
35节是这里的 key point 啊，我们一起来读一读。来，
你们若有彼此相爱的心，众人因此就认你们是我的使徒。
读了，我们再读一遍好吗？
Let's read again.
你们若有彼此相爱的心，众人因此就认出你们是我的。
value truth.
在这一段这里在讲什么呢？
Do you know what is that talk about?
这里讲的是我们的生命是对上帝的荣耀的见证。
Because we testament our life to glory God.
所以第二点呢，彼此相爱是荣耀主的见证。
That's why secondly, it shows us love one another is the testimony to glorify God.
换一个角度来看，
Look at a different point.
我们今天好不好？从今天开始，不要再彼此相爱，
How about starting from today, we don't love one another.
我们爱自己好。
We just love
我们
ourselves.
在爱自己的前提下，看看能分点什么爱给其他的生活的 else。
We will think about besides that, what else we can say to love others.
如果我们真是这样子的话，
If we read it like that way,
其实外邦人也认不出我们是主。
even the Gentiles cannot recognize we are disciples
我
from
今天我
Christ.
对对也讲美国啊。
Let's look at talk about U.S. today.
你知道在礼拜三中国发生那个烧十字架、拆十字架的大规模的行动的时候，
And on Wednesday, when China have the government policemen and demolish all the crosses,
华盛顿的这整个国会山也在热烈的讨论这件事情。
in Washington, they all talk about this history.
那当时国会就有一个听证会来了解这件事情。
The Congress actually have a listening for this conference.
那白宫现在已经是奥巴马政权基本上完全的站在中国政府上同意，甚至同意中国政府这种做法。
And look at President Obama and the White House, they even agree Chinese governments.
当然，整个的众议院、参议院是完全反对的。
Of course, the Congress, they totally object this.
当时那个众议院的议长说这是一个反人类的罪。
And the Congress, they say this is an anti-human.
好，我简单把这个背景跟大家讲。
So I just give you the background.
好，我们今天发现美国是很民主的，对不对？
And you think about it, U.S. seems like very
我们
down.
生活在美国，我们感到很多的自由，很多的权利。
We have a lot of freedom and power.
但你会发现，其他国家怎么看美国呢？
But when you look at other country, how they look at the
那
U.S.?
所有美国以外的其他国家看美国，绝对不会有一个想法，你是一个有基督思想所建立的国家，没有这个想法。
When other countries look at the U.S., they never believe you
众人认不出我们是主的门徒。
because they cannot recognize that you are the
坦率讲，美
disciples
国
of Christ.
double standard，双重标准，
Actually, U.S. have a double standard.
对自己的国民非常民主，
They are very good to their own
对
country,
其他的国家非常棒。
but it's very bully to other
请问
countries.
众人来认得出我们是荣耀主的子民吗？认不出来。
So from outside the country, how can I recognize that you are
我们
Christ?
所居住的国家慢慢成为一个自欺欺人的器皿。
Because gradually we become the vessel to be hypocrites.
同性恋没关系，接纳。
Same sex, we just accept it.
同性恋的牧师可以继续牧会
If。that's a pastor have the same sex, just accept it.
到教会去登记同性恋婚姻，继续做。
If they register to get married as the same sex, just accept it.
现在已经不是单单外的，里面也开始认不出我们是主的门徒了。
It's just not outside, even inside the church, you cannot recognize that you are the disciples from
过去
Christ.
曾几何时，我们要以此为豪的这么一个国度，今天堕落到什么样的地步？
But look at this country, how much they corrupted today.
还有见证吗？
And isn't there any testimony?
现在外邦人，就包括回教徒，就不怕你美国。
You know, even the Gentiles, even those Muslims, they
我
don't care
有
US.
我有一次跟一个有穆斯林的一个阿訇在谈话，在飞机上现在。
And in the flight, sometimes met a guy is a Muslim.
我们谈到了中东局势，谈到了美国，谈到了苏联，谈到了中国，谈到了世界的局势。
We talked about the world affair recently.
他告诉我一个道理，我很 surprise。
He gave me a reason I feel very surprised.
他说911之后，穆斯林再也不怕美国了。
After 911, the Muslims never fear U.S. government
那我
anymore.
觉得很奇怪，美国那么强，你不害怕？
U.S. is so strong, how can you not fear?
他说911之后呢，穆斯林认定一个道理。
Because after 911, those Muslims
他
believe
说
one
美
thing.
国的背后没有上帝，
Because behind the
Or-
U.S. government, there's
穆
no
斯
God.
林背后有真主。
And after, behind those Muslims, they have own.
他这个命题让我 surprise。
When he gave me this topic, made me
那
very surprised.
我这句话是2002年听到，
The conversation we had, it was in 2001.
13年。
It has been 13
我也
years.
是老师这个阿訇的话才在我脑海里面转。
I always think about the word he told me.
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，
Dear brothers and sisters,
大家记得诗篇23篇吗？
Do you remember Psalm
大
123?
卫说，在我敌人的面前，你为我摆设筵
In
席。
front of my enemy, you have the banquet for me.
什么叫在敌人面前摆设筵席？
What does that mean?
敌人来了，
Enemy is coming.
千军万马来了，
All the army and soldiers here.
你有2个选择：
You have two choices.
第一，逃跑；
One is to escape.
第二，作战。
Secondly, is to fight.
在我们生命当中，绝对不会有一个选择，在敌人面前摆设筵席。
There's never be a choice just to open and
那
have
是
banquet.
何等大的确据啊！
And what kind of testimony he gave us?
敌人一来，哦，唰一
The
点，
enemy, they're coming.
你没有带武器，
You don't have a weapon.
也没有逃跑，
You're not escape.
你在吃饭，
You are eating.
回头吓就跑。
And they scare and then run away.
为什么逃跑？
Why they will run
因为
away?
他不怕你，
Because they're not
他
scared you.
怕你背后的上帝。
They scare the God behind you.
今天美国背后的上帝不见了，
Today, the God behind the U.S. is gone.
一个国家开始起来。
And another country, one by one, is booming.
美国这些人优势一点点开，在这路上在失误。
And U.S. is losing its privileged
我
place.
再一次讲，我们所追求的不是这世间的强大或者是衰落，
I want to emphasize we're not really chasing.
我们追求
The
是上帝
booming for this
儿
country.
女的。
We are chasing the glory as God's
请
children.
问，在我们的身后有上帝吗？
I want to know behind your life is that
我们
God.
身边的人见到我们的时候，有没有认出我们是主的门徒？
The people around us, can they recognize that we are Lord's
能
disciples?
不能够因为主的缘故，你持守你的真理，
Because Lord, can you keep your truths?
见证如何？
And what is your testimony?
我们有什么理由不彼此相爱呢？
And is there any reason we don't love one another?
如果外邦人看见我们弟兄姐妹在彼此的互相相咬、相亲、互相的争风吃醋、纷争内斗，我们还有能力吗？
Even the Gentiles, they look at us in the church, the brothers and sisters just fighting and conflict each other.
好，最后彼此相爱的根基是主对我们永不改变的爱。
And secondly, and finally, the foundation of loving one another is the everlasting love from our Lord.
那彼得是个性情非常急躁的，
Peter has a very impatient character.
急躁他就会继续急躁。
And if he's rushing, he will have a lot of impatient words.
彼得到了80岁的时候，性格开始平稳下来。
Until Peter reached 80 years old, he started to calm
当
down.
时耶路撒冷被逼迫，
And Jerusalem has been persecuted.
这弟兄就哎呀，彼得快跑！
And Peter just escaped, run.
所以很多弟兄姐妹就在前面掩护彼得，彼得就跑出城外去。
So a lot of people cover up Peter so he get out of Jerusalem.
那彼得跑到外面去，看到耶路撒冷熊熊大火，很多弟兄姐妹在那寻到。
And Peter, he looked back, and a lot of big fire, a lot of brothers, sisters, and sacrificed some of the fire.
走到一棵大树下面一个石头上坐着，
And he would sit down in a tree.
主在那里向他显现。
And Lord appeared in front of him.
说彼得啊，
Peter,
你去哪里？
where are you?
彼得说主啊，我正在逃跑。
Lord, I'm running.
主说你的弟兄在做什么呀？
And where's your brothers and sisters?
彼得说他们在为我舍命。
They died for me.
主就问彼得，你要为谁舍命？
And Lord asked him, who you died for?
彼得二话不说回答。
And Peter just say nothing and
我
turn
要
around.
去请求那些人将他倒钉十字架。
And then he just go back and ask people to cross him upside down.
他说我没有颜面见我的主，
Because I have no faith, I'm
我
so
知道
ashamed.
我的弟兄姐妹来为我舍命。
How can I let my brother and sister to die for
我
me?
要效法主，为我的弟兄舍命。
I want to follow my Lord and die for my brothers and
你们
sisters.
想一下，我们听到的故事，听到什么？
When you listen to the story, what do you learn?
是彼得的了不起，
It is a remarkable thing from Peter.
就是彼得一样，跟我们一样，都是很软弱的。
Actually, Peter just like you and me, so
见
weak.
到祸都躲藏，
We always avoid and escape from disaster.
见到凶杀都要逃跑。
We will escape from all the persecutions.
是什么样的力量让他从城外的大树下回到城中去干那个十字架？
What kind of power moved Peter underneath the tree and then go back to the town and to be crucified upside down?
难道不是主的爱？
Is it that Lord's love?
亲爱的弟兄姐妹，
Dear brothers and sisters,
主的爱是我们彼此相爱的根基。
the Lord or Christ is the foundation for us to love one another.
我相信彼得此刻一定很想将所说的活出来，对不对？
I think at this time Peter really wants to say the word and live with the word,
实在是没有，
but he has no power.
他立志想如此却活不出来。
He made the mind to try to do it, but he can't.
耶稣最后就问他了：“你愿意为我舍命吗
And Jesus asked him, "Are you willing to die for me?"？”
彼得答应说：“呀，我当然愿意，我愿意啊，愿意。”
Peter said, "Yes, I will."
主怎么说的？
What did Jesus
说
say?
我实实在在的告诉你，
I tell you,
鸡叫以前你要3次不可。
and before the rooster crows, you will disown me 3 times.
这一点是令我更加感动的事情。
That's the one thing really moved me a lot.
彼得的失败我们都很清楚，
We all see the failure from Peter.
我们自己的失败我们也很清楚。
We also know our failures very clear.
但是你有一点，
Do you pay any
我
attention?
们的主其实更清楚。
Is the Lord is more clear than this?
我们主他会怎样？
What the Lord will do?
他明知彼得并没有能力去为他舍命，
He already know Peter has no power to die for him.
但是耶稣不受我们的软弱失败影响，
But Jesus will not impacted by our weakness.
他继续走上十字架为我们舍命。
He still died on the cross for us.
这就是彼此相爱最大的道理。
That is the biggest secret to love one
好，
another.
感谢主，原来彼此相爱有这么多的奥秘。
Thanks to the Lord. Now we know there are so many secrets in the love of one
彼此
another.
相爱命令的核心就是效法主。
The key of loving one another is to follow the Lord.
彼此相爱与一个地方的关联就是福音，
The connection of loving one another is the gospel.
而彼此相爱的根基就是我们与主的关系。
The foundation of loving one another is a relationship with the Lord.
一起祷告。
Let's pray together.
天父，感谢你，
Dear Lord, we thank you.
感谢主你的荣耀，
Thank you, Lord, your glory.
感谢主你的恩典。
Thanks for your grace.
主啊，就求你今天做主做王，
We pray you be our King and our Lord.
好让我们生命当中充满你的爱。
So in our life, we feel the love with you.
愿主你在我们当中掌王权，居首位。
And please over the authority of our life.
感谢祷告是奉耶稣基督的名。
We pray in Jesus' name.
阿门。
Amen.
好，我们今天请那个谢兰和那个请标上有教会2个礼物给